Welcome to Subway's Decoding Workplace Bias series. This series is designed to help Subway's team effectively create a welcoming, accepting, and professional work environment. A strong Subway team understands that every guest deserves exceptional hospitality and a positive experience. This lesson serves as an introduction and teaches bias terms and types. Let's get started. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to 1. Identify unconscious bias terms and types. 2. Connect each term and type to their own bias experiences. And 3. Describe an instance where they felt unconscious bias and were biased against a person or group. I'm going to tell you something that might surprise you. Everyone has unconscious bias. Think of unconscious bias as our brain's way of creating shortcuts when we don't have information and filling it in quickly with what we do know, oftentimes stereotypes.
The issue is when we label someone or a group as less than simply because they're different.
We may all have unconscious bias ingrained, but with awareness,
we can form a stronger Subway team and brand. Author and speaker Joe Gerstand of Social
Gravity put it this way. We are not responsible for our first thought, but we are responsible for our second thought and our first action. A lot of our personal power can be found in that space between our first and second thought.
Let's take a look at some words commonly associated with bias. Understanding these terms will help you recognize and take the right action. The list is comprehensive, but remember, a strong Subway team understands that every guest deserves exceptional hospitality and a positive experience.
Let's start with defining the topic itself. What is bias? It's a particular tendency or inclination, especially one that prevents unprejudiced consideration. For example, biases can prevent us from considering some Subway guests fairly rather than treating everyone equally. Did you know you may not even be aware of some biases you already have? Are you ready to learn how? Check this out.
Unconscious or implicit bias is bias that happens automatically and is triggered by our brain making quick judgments and assessments of people and situations, influenced by our background, cultural environment, and personal experiences. There are more than 150 identified unconscious biases. In-group or affinity bias, playing favorites because someone is like you and excluding those who are not.
This can have significant impact on the workplace.
Halo effect. Thinking everything about a person is good because you like that person. Prejudice. An unfavorable opinion or feeling formed beforehand. A negative attitude towards someone. Confirmation bias. Having a preconceived notion and only seeking out information to reinforce the thought. Stereotype.
A simplified and standardized conception or image
with special meaning for members of a group. Microaggressions.
When someone says or does something, intentional or not, that's hostile, derogatory, or insulting to a segmented group of people. For example, saying, "That's gay," or "That's so white of you," or prefacing a statement with "you people."
Discriminate. To make a distinction for or against someone based on group, class, or category rather than merit.
Discrimination can also mean to know or observe a difference. Physical differences in ourselves and others is often the first thing we notice.
These observations become dangerous when the differences are viewed as inferior.
Here are some groups who frequently experience discrimination.
Race, ethnicity,
sexual orientation, gender,
age,
religion,
weight, disability.
Do you see yourself in any of these groups?
If so, have you experienced discrimination? If not,
have you perhaps negatively judged someone based on these differences?
Still not sure exactly what negative unconscious biases are? Or maybe you don't think you have any?
Watch close and see, if any, what positive or negative bias you may have.
Smart, defiant, math whiz, sweet, intelligent, lazy, dangerous, passionate, leader, loud.
Well, did you agree? Disagree? Feel surprised by your reaction? Many of us would never say or believe those statements, but our unconscious minds may be causing us to make quick decisions. Why? cultural misunderstandings, and media stereotypes.
Diversity is both an asset and strength. Our world is changing. Take a look. Currently, the white population is the majority. By 2042, no one group will make up the majority. By 2056, those aged 65 and older will outnumber Americans under the age of 18. In 2060, the U.S. population will be over 420 million, with almost 129 million Hispanics and almost 27 million will identify as multicultural.
You may have recognized some biases today, but some are buried so deep in who we are, we don't even realize that they're there. Be a leader and identify these biases right away and make correct, objective decisions.
The more exposed we are to other groups of people, the less likely we are to feel prejudice against them.
No matter how unbiased we think we are, we may have subconscious negative opinions about people who are outside our own group.
Subway recognizes the benefits of diversity by bringing different groups of people together.
Providing superior customer service at home and around the world through multicultural understanding and empathy.
And recruiting and retaining only those who proudly represent the Subway brand while providing exceptional hospitality to all our guests, regardless of background, race, color, gender, or sexual orientation.
The more exposed we are to other groups of people, the less likely we are to feel, perceive, or even accept bias against them. Although most of us recognize that we have biases, some biases are buried so deep and have been a part of who we are for so long, we don't even realize they're there. When we are influenced by a bias that we're unaware of, we need to identify them immediately so that we can make correct, objective decisions for ourselves, our teammates, our guests, and the Subway brand.
Thanks for learning with us.
Welcome back to Subway's Decoding Workplace Bias series. This series is designed to help Subway's team effectively create
a welcoming, accepting, and professional work environment. A strong Subway team understands that every guest deserves exceptional hospitality and a positive experience.
This lesson will cover how to out bias. Let's get started. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to 1. Report of zero bias when training a new sandwich artist. 2. List training enhancements that reduce bias when training a new sandwich artist. And 3. List benefits and rewards for implementing training diversity. Your diverse team is in place. Great work addressing unconscious bias with what you have learned so far. Now what?
Now it's time to train our teammates so they can serve our guests with the exceptional hospitality and positive experience they deserve.
Use training as an empowerment tool, not a punishment. Set consistent, smart training programs and objectives that are fair across the team. Establish clear expectations, communicate regularly, and give feedback that positively promotes the Subway brand. Author Stephen R. Covey is well known for his tenets of leadership. In his words, always treat your employees exactly as you want them to treat your best customers.
Effective training empowers your team. Key to successful training is defining training programs and objectives that are consistent and fair. Every training goal and benchmark should be relevant, specific, measurable, attainable, and timed. Here's how.
Relevant. Store lettuce at 36 degrees until opened. Specific. Label each condiment container twice.
Measurable. Bake 40 loaves of bread before 11 a.m.
Attainable. Wash meat containers twice every day and let it air dry. Timed. Complete end of shift procedure 60 minutes before closing.
When discussing performance issues, keep biases in check. Focus on team members' strengths and successes rather than faults and weaknesses. Here are some enhancements to make your training bias-free.
Lead by example. Integrate diversity with everything that you do. Diversity should not be viewed as an obligation, but more importantly, as key to working together and serving our guests. Continue to build a diverse team. Your current employees give valuable feedback about their experience onboarding. Make it clear that together, everyone advances. Reiterating Subway's core values builds teamwork. Team up mentors with mentees of different backgrounds. Make diversity part of your professional development plan.
Which issues are you struggling with?
Be equally sincere to each team member.
How can I help improve your day?
Explain how their diversity and direct feedback strengthens your workplace. Level the playing field. Performance reviews and evaluations are your tools. Are they free of bias? Are you being objective when considering promotions? Schedule housekeeping meetings to address diversity and bias head-on. Openly talk about what is working and what is not.
We have to be honest, we have to be respectful and courteous at all times, okay? Some of the comments that are being held behind the counter are crossing the line of respect to some of our guests.
Allow for mistakes and learn from them.
We all say dumb things, I get it, but what will you do differently next time?
Be ready for pushback.
I was just kidding.
And link diversity to the bottom line.
We represent Subway in every interaction and experience. Most of our guests are only in our restaurants for a few minutes. Their experience must be good and positive.
Rejecting diversity can impoverish teams. Here are a few immediate rewards researchers have found for implementing diversity in your training agenda. Creative problem-solving and team decision-making. Greater loyalty and deeper talent pool. Open communication that leads to productive teamwork. Respect and trust. Positivity. Less absenteeism and obeying anti-discrimination laws.
Acceptance matters. In the 21st century, team members will often differ in age, ethnicity, sexual orientation, physical ability, experience, religion, education, background, and worldview. Organizations that welcome diversity will be more successful because their clients are also diverse. Diversity is only one corner piece of the puzzle. Viewpoints, ideas, traits, and beliefs must also be welcome.
When it comes to diversity, differences, and varying viewpoints during training, remember to always
Welcome, accept, celebrate,
Reward.
and reinforce.
We've discussed the importance of standardizing
Sincerity, prioritizing different viewpoints, and valuing differences.
Let's see these points in action and the alternative.
Your training is going okay. I'm not sure why you're unable to properly stock the service line. It's not that hard. Why don't you get it? I'm really sorry. May I see the checklist again tomorrow?
The manager's reaction is harsh and insensitive and sets a poor example. Let's look at a similar scenario with a different outcome.
Your training is going okay. I'm unsure why you're unable to properly stock the service line. It's not that hard.
But tell you what, I'll help you with it tomorrow. I'm sorry, but thank you for helping me. I'll get it, I promise. No problem. That's what I'm here for.
The manager has good intentions, but her approach did not exactly line up culturally. Although her second approach was better, it also exposed potential bias
in the first scenario. Showing cultural sensitivity and flexibility gains buy-in and loyalty. As always, resolution is our main goal. And yes, being a leader means leading, mentoring, and encouraging everyone. Ask, listen, process. Offer to help. Work together towards a solution.
All of our sandwich artists have to see how their training connects to the ultimate goals of the organization. For example, how will each encounter get guests to return to Subway for their next sandwich? Removing all bias from their guest experience is a critical step in this process. Racial bias remains saturated in our industry. Harvard University research found U.S. food service employees ranked 3rd out of 12 as having the highest level of unconscious bias at 70%.
Training is often rushed so we can get new sandwich artists on the floor. When making training choices, pay particular attention when you are feeling tired, rushed, or stressed, as these situations tend to activate our biases.
Remember, biases are our brain's shortcuts and are time-saving mechanisms that can be detrimental to our overall goals. The smallest of training details often mean the most. Before our new sandwich artists engage our guests, we need to ensure that our training reflects the Subway brand and ignore our own personal biases. Thanks for learning with us.
Welcome back to Subway's Decoding Workplace Bias series. This series is designed to help Subway's team effectively create a welcoming, accepting, and professional work environment. A strong Subway team understands that every guest deserves exceptional hospitality and a positive experience. This lesson will cover guest engagement. Let's get started. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to 1. List guest assumptions that promote objectivity, warmth, and repeat business. 2. Describe thought process needed to approach every guest with zero bias. 3. List guest touchpoints. And 4. Apply guest engagement strategies in a QSR setting with limited exposure.
You've successfully completed your Subway training, and now you're ready to hit the floor to engage guests and start making delicious sandwiches. We need to ensure that we're keeping our biases in check and able to provide our guests with the best possible experience.
Here's some advice on how to do so from Sandra Upton with the Cultural Intelligence Center. One of the ways that you can minimize your unconscious biases is by being intentional with the small things.
For example, greeting employees, colleagues, and guests with sincerity.